Alright, we're back, ready to play our final character in Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. And this one's gonna play a little bit differently, as she has multiple moves. Amy here has 3 different movesets to choose from: Sonic 3 Air, Sonic Origins, and Sonic Superstars. From my understanding, I haven't really played much of Sonic 3 Air, especially with Amy in particular, so I'm not gonna be 100% sure on the moveset until I play with the moves, but Sonic 3 Air's version of Amy, when she jumps, she swings her hammer around essentially like an instant shield, if I'm not mistaken. Sonic Origins, when she jumps, it is just around her at all times. Superstars gives her a double jump. I'm not going to be 100% sure on this, don't quote me, because I'm going to be experimenting, because what we're going to be doing for Amy is something very different. We're going to be playing through with all 3 of her moves, and you may be asking how. Well, simply because there's a single and continuous play option. We're going to use the single stage option this time around, as we can jump around any of the stages in the game as we want, in any order. So, we'll do a continuous play of all the stages, minus the first one for obvious reasons. But every stage we swap a moveset. So with that said, let's jump in the Great Turquoise Act 1, and play here with the Sonic 3 Air moveset. So this is what it is. Instant shield, but she can bonk, allowing her to get a lot of extra momentum on the ground. And it is a great attacking form. Like, Sonic 3 Air version of Amy is a fan-made version of the character. Origins and Superstars are official 2D Amy's. So this is a different way of playing as the character. Again, not really familiar with the Sonic 3 Air version, because I've played through some of Air, but just as, like, the main 3, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, never as Amy. The Year of Amy, maybe? I would have said because of the movie, but that's next year. Because we got official word that they're filming Sonic 4, but that won't be releasing now, I guess, until 2027 because of that. We thought it was going to be in 26, like, by the end of the year, but they didn't get to start the filming until late. Alright, she doesn't have a super PLL form in this. I doubt this will work as a homing attack. Again, only Sonic, I think, works with the homing attack here. Yeah, because she's still spinning her hammer if I hold the jump button. Nothing on the tag team button here, which is not too surprising. I don't think any of her forms are going to use the tag team button for anything. Getting these collectibles are going to be completely pointless, by the way, because I'm not going to keep my lives. If I'm swapping the form of Amy every level, this is not going to matter. Because I'm not going to be keeping the life count. I'll always reset the 3. Score is also not going to matter either. Oh, she's high enough to actually jump up there. That's perfect. This boss fight's going to be easy. Get out of here. Stupid Weasel Hunter Fang. Alright, let's check out her Origins moveset now. Now, same idea as the Sonic 3 Air, but when she hits the ground now when holding the jump button with her hammer, like, she still does the insta-shield thing with the hammer. But she'll run forward, slamming it onto the ground, which works as a ground attack. It's not the most effective, though, in my experience. Like, it works, but it depends on the enemy that's in front of you. It's more of a spin dash related kind of attack, so it's good for bursting down walls. I don't know, I think of the 3 movesets, I think her Origins moveset's probably the worst. Just because it's nothing really too special. The insta-shield, excuse me, does help. But the pounding attack of it with her Sonic 3 Air version kind of outclasses this one. I think, though, her her Superstars moveset, excuse me, might be the best one, and we'll get into that in the next stage. I wonder why she has, like, 2 different movesets between Sonic Origins and Superstars, though. Like, the games were only a few months apart, but they were developed by 2 different dev teams. Obviously, people didn't share notes. I think a double jump suits Amy better than whatever this is. This feels more canon, though, for what she would do with the hammer, because she chases people around with it in, like, the Sonic Adventure titles. So this is fitting for, I guess, her story arc of Hammer. But gameplay-wise, yeah, it's not that great. It's a worse drop dash, if you really want to boil it down. Gotta wait for this to come towards me. My jump isn't that great, but it's going to get better here in a minute. Last moveset, Sonic Superstars. Ironically, for a game that was kinda her moveset from it is really good. The double jump here, I think, is perfect for a platformer. This will help us get to some higher areas, not to the same degree as like with Tails, Knuckles, or even Knack, Fang Man, that has so many names. This is not going to be as good as those jumps, but it's comparable. Still better than Sonic. Again, making Sonic the worst character in his own game, which is ironic. By the way, you can still do the hammer swing thing on the ground, so her Origins version is the worst of the three moves. Because you can still slam, which is the why. It's like, I don't know how to put this in the words besides. Her Origins moveset is just redundant. Because yeah, she can do that also, I think, the hammer thing in Superstars. I just never found a use for it. I always just used her double jump if I'm playing as Amy. Although, let's not kid ourselves. Who's going back to Sonic Superstars? Not me. Unless I have a very specific reason, I ain't going back to touch that game. The levels are fun. Everything else is not. So unfortunately, that deters me. Yeah, let's go. I knew I can get up here. Cheating. Let's go. Okay, I can only cheat so much. I was even going backwards, too, so that didn't matter. Legitimately going backwards. I actually cheated myself into a worse spot. Oops. Sometimes cheating is in the way. I love how classic Amy has become more of a thing over the years in Sonic games. She's just, like, she was introduced in one classic Sonic and then just never used again until the 3D era. So, to see her actually have a proper moveset in these games has been nice. Not to mention, just in general, it gives us another Sonic character to play as in these 2D Sonics. Because they were kind of limited, only having the original 3 from Sonic 3 and Knuckles for many years in 2D Sonic. We all appreciate that they brought back, like, 2 different characters most people never heard of for Sonic Mania Plus. But, again, how many people even knew of Mighty the Armadillo and... I almost called him Fang the Squirrel because I legit forgot his name. That kind of proves the point. I remember Fang more. The Squirrel. It really proves the point. I'm not even going to give him a name now. It just shows, right there, they were running out of ideas. It was a fan service thing to bring back, like, 2 different characters that were from, like, super old Sonic stuff, mainly arcade games. God, I can't believe I forgot the squirrel's name, just called him Fang. That just shows, man. That just shows I'm not a true hardcore Sonic fan. I'm not gonna get myself there. I'm just glad we have a playable Amy in classic games. She made sense to me. Introduced in Sonic CD, mainline character ever since. Relegated to just kind of be there. I mean, she was playable in at least the Sonic Advance stuff. So she had a playable 2D state. And then that was it. Because after Sonic Advance, she kind of just, once again, kind of got put on the sidelines for most years. It's because of Sonic 06. We all know what happened after that. That specific title cursed the Sonic Friends stuff, though we haven't seen playable characters until a lot more recently now, which has been nice to see. It's also, to be fair, been a while. I wonder when we're going to get a new mainline Sonic game, just in general. We haven't gotten a new mainline since Sonic Frontiers, and that was 22, so it's overdue at this point. Superstars was our last, like, brand new platforming game in general, but it didn't really perform that well. So people are kind of looking at, like, the next big thing, which would be, like, a Frontiers 2. I saw an interesting headline. That actually makes me remember this now. I don't know if other people have been seeing this, but Sega got really upset this week about, like, the state of their games. Because I've been seeing this headline float around with a quote pretty much saying that Sega has been coming out telling people, you sure do like our games, but nobody's buying them. Like, geez, man, that's just like stabbing a knife into your fans' backs. We have. That's not the problem here. The problem why so many people haven't been buying the latest Sega game. Timing, because half the time they release it at the worst times. And pricing. A lot of people really like Sonic Racing Cross World, couldn't justify the $70 to $90 price tag for a kart racer. So it was skipped until sales, which is very fair. Shinobi released last year. From what I understand, did really well, but it released right next to Ninja Gaiden 4, so it got overshadowed. Therefore, didn't sell as well as they were hoping. Sega has that curse of either it's too expensive or it came out at a terrible time. It's usually the latter that happens. Sonic got hit with that twice in like the span of 2 years. Sonic Superstars and then Sonic Racing both released next to two giant Mario games that were in the same genre. And they're blaming their fans for why their games aren't selling, essentially. Because when you say, you like our stuff but you're not buying it, that's blaming the fan base. That's not blaming the average consumer. I hate when companies do that, dude. It's like a common thing I hear from companies now. I mean, look at the failure of Highguard. That whole company said, we were doomed from the start. You guys are making fun of us. You're the problem why we don't have any players. And it's like, no, that right there is why you don't have players. Because you're bad-mouthing your players. Don't disrespect the people that are buying your products. That's the fastest way to not have a product. But I swear, these big-name CEOs or devs and such, they get overconfident and they're blaming their fan bases for their failures, not their own mistakes. Look in a mirror before you talk. Yeah, no, I can understand that. Like, to be fair, I think Shinobi went on sale once or twice because of the holiday stuff, but I haven't really seen it on sale that much yet. It's a good game, but just like a lot of stuff, I hear it's probably not worth the full asking. Maybe wait for a sale kind of situation. That's what I hear about it. So that doesn't help. That argument is why a lot of Sega games aren't selling. Because they're a little much for what they are. To be fair, that's like most of gaming nowadays to begin with. People are having a harder time affording as many games as they used to. Because the prices have increased, there's been so many more games in the market, especially releasing around the same time. And just the state of the world has changed drastically in the past few years. I mean, the past year alone, we have seen so much get worse. I don't want to get into that, dear God. So right there is another reason why a lot of people haven't been splurging on the latest release every 5 minutes because they can't do it. It's just not feasibly possible anymore. The AAA companies do not care, though, because they need to make that bottom line. They need to sell stuff, and they can't do that if no one's buying. So then they complain when no one buys. It feels like the spoiled rich kid complaining they don't have enough money when they do that. Like, I need to be, like, I'm real. I haven't bought a brand new game since the end of last year. It's been a hot minute. Metroid Prime 4 has been my last new title. It's been 3 months. And I still haven't beaten Prime 4, so there's another reason why I haven't been picking up as many new things. Why? It'll still be there. If I don't think I'm playing it right now, save the money and get it later. That's what a lot of other gamers are doing too. By then, when they want to play a game, it might be on sale. Or if by that point, they'll probably have the spendable income. But as of right now, it's not the case. And companies don't like that. I mean, how many CEOs are starting to say the quiet part out loud where they're happy that there's a scalper market right now because they can sell you more overpriced garbage? I swear, it's like every day I wake up, I feel like I'm in a dream, and then I realize, crap, this is not a dream. This is real life. Like, I feel like we're in the supervillain arc. I just noticed the birds are pink. Nice attention to detail, because they're a color of my character's sprite, which in this case is Amy, but they're pink. Oh, come on, the hammer doesn't do anything? It only works when I jump. Oh, that's a downgrade. Wouldn't matter from the Superstars version or the Origins version, that wouldn't work. Oh, by the way, get wrecked. Never gets old. Nice 10 rings I can't use because I'm immediately gonna quit. Now for the best one. To me, double jump is the best. Of all the different moves, this is the most versatile. But I like this idea of just playing through the game with the different movesets. I wish you could do that in continuous play, but doing it like this in free play is getting the point across. Does that respawn? I didn't mean to jump yet. Okay, it does. Because I want to go up here. I don't think I went this high before. That's probably for the best. Yeah, Pragmata next month, because that's coming out sooner now because of the 1 week early thing. And Final Fantasy Rebirth. I still need to pick it up myself. I own Remake. I haven't played it, though. That's why I haven't picked up Rebirth. I think I'm going to play through the first one before I go to the second part. That just makes more sense for obvious reasons. It's funny, I bought it years ago on the PlayStation 4, and then I was going to end up playing it. Never did. But then it came out on the PS5 with the new DLC, so I needed to get a new version anyways because of that. And I was thankfully gifted a copy a few years ago on PC that I still haven't touched, and I feel bad. It's like I don't have time for these 100+ hour games or anything now. Really, I have time to play these games that take 3. Most of my gaming time, I swear, is still for videos or streams. I've been doing better about playing things in my own time, but something always stops me. Like this game tonight, it's easy to play with my injured finger. For those who missed it, yeah, I kind of injured my middle finger over the weekend. So I haven't been able to use it as much because it's in pain. But thankfully, playing a game like this is simple because it just uses my thumbs. Some other stuff, though, not so much. Like, Sunshine last night was okay, but if I didn't wrap it up, it probably would have hurt, because I would have probably started to, like, hit some of the triggers by accident with the middle finger because of just force of habit. So, yeah, that's kind of screwing things up a little bit, which is nothing new. And that's what I mean. It's like something always comes up, which makes it so I can't play something. Oh, I think it's time for me to tell this story because, this is stupid. But I've been playing a lot of my Steam Deck in the past few weeks, since I've just been playing a lot more pick up and put down kind of games. Still mainly Ball Pit, I'm not gonna lie. But I had a scare with it that made me think it bricked itself. And I don't know how it happened. So I need to give some context first for this, because it's like a weird situation I've never seen before with any piece of technology in my life. And this is why it got kind of borked. It's not broken. I'm gonna just skip ahead on the story. It's fine. It just gave me a really big scare. I was playing a game on my Wii U using my Steam Deck. There's a program called Vanilla, which allows you to mirror your Steam Deck, or any computer to be fair, but I'd rather just use the Steam Deck for this. It allows you to mirror that specific device's display to the Wii U, acting as a gamepad. And the Steam Deck is perfect for it because it's a handheld with a touchscreen. The only thing it's missing is a microphone and a camera. Because I don't think the microphone access works with the Steam Deck through Vanilla yet. I think they're still working on it, because it's a pretty new software. So I was playing something on there the other day, and nice bounce back. I was playing something on the Wii U the other day with my Steam Deck, and it has to put the system into a local-only network mode, so it disconnects from the internet. Then when you're done with the software, it'll reconnect it to your Wi-Fi. Well, it reconnected to the Wi-Fi, but it had no internet. Which was weird, because all my devices did have internet, so I knew there was something wrong. So I figured, it might need a reboot, because this could be a weird handshake issue. So if I reboot the device, it probably will fix itself. So I go to reboot the Steam Deck, and it doesn't turn back on. At all. It's just stuck on a boot screen. Like, why? I go to use the previous version of the SteamOS, because what's nice about the Steam Deck is that if you hold, I believe it's the 3 circle buttons, which is like the options button normally on it, so you hold that button and the Steam button in particular, it will pop up a loader menu that will tell you to go back between 2 different versions of SteamOS, the current version you're on, and then like the last build. So I did that, still wouldn't boot. This is now getting concerning. So then I take a Steam recovery image and wipe my Steam Deck clean. I do that, then it boots back up. Like, okay, perfect. But then it's connected without internet. Again, what is going on? I boot into SteamOS and I finally get it all configured, because then it, for some reason, just worked again. Another reboot fixed it. I install some games, go to the desktop mode, then it just tells me I have no internet again. It's like, what is this weird loop? Once again, reboot the device, would not reboot. It's stuck on the logo. It's like a post error. I don't understand what's going on. I take another USB flash drive that has Linux Mint on it. I always keep another version of Linux around from a bootable instance for troubleshooting purposes. It boots just fine. I connect to the internet, doesn't have internet. It just recognizes the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. I reboot my router and it fixes everything. The story gets weirder though. I'm still going. This is why I'm so confused with technology. The Steam Deck itself wasn't the problem, it was my router. Because I go to reboot the router, it fixes it. I repeat these same steps, because I found a way to make this consistent. Go into the Steam Deck, put it into a local-only network, which is basically forcing it with that vanilla software. So that it disconnects from the Wi-Fi. Close out, reconnect, it will not connect to the internet, but it's connected to the network. Reboot the Steam device, freezes. You cannot reboot. If you unplug the router, plug it back in, then it will boot. The problem was the Wi-Fi. This is what's so dumb. And also, if you can, I recommend do not use an ISP router. I'm using it just because I don't have another one on hand. You know why this all happened? Why I thought my close to $400 handheld device would not turn on. There was a bad firmware for my router. They pushed a firmware overnight that was newer than the one they're currently offering consumers that wasn't ready for prime time yet. I'm not kidding. The router itself was the actual problem here. Nothing else. I don't understand. I reverted the firmware and everything fixed itself. Why? This is so cursed, dude. So moral of the story. Buy your own router. Take your internet one. Turn off its wireless stuff. Do not use it if you want to save a headache. It's so dumb, dude. I don't understand. I checked the firmware, and apparently the problem was that the firmware used for this router, because I have a quantum fiber box now from swapping internet ISPs. The quantum router updated to version like 102, but it said the current firmware to actually download was 101, so something right there was wrong. Apparently, that new firmware was rushed out to market because it missed like a lot of features. It took one of the bridge mode options and just deleted it, so a lot of consumers are complaining about that, and it has like higher latency now, which on fiber with a gigabit plan, I should have 3 milliseconds of latency. People were reporting up to 250 plus, which is insane. That's a quarter of a second. That's bad. All from a bad firmware. So, from what it sounds like, they've already pulled the firmware. But if people got updated to it, you're stuck. If you're not tech savvy, you're stuck on it. I know what I'm doing. I knew to log into the router's main access point to the web. And I knew where to go to download the old firmware and install it. If I didn't know how to do that as a consumer, I'm screwed. What, do I just have to argue with customer support on the phone saying, send me a new box because mine broke? How did it break? I don't know. It's just my devices don't connect. And trying to explain to someone why exactly, it's like grandma trying to explain why she can't use her laptop or something, because that's what they'll think. And it's just like, just test your stuff before you push it to market. This is the moral of the story. I'm so annoyed with that, man. It's making me actually think of investing into a proper home network, like mesh setup, like a proper router with extenders and such, so I can ditch this equipment. I'll just put it in bridge mode and just leave it on the wall. That's... If it's gonna be like that, I'd rather buy my own stuff for a couple $100, because that would actually be better in the long run. Had a similar issue last year with your Switch 1. Oof, well, pro tip, if for whatever reason something doesn't connect, rebooting the router might fix it. That or find some old firmware. Apparently that also fixes it. It's stupid. Like how that ends with just me buried in the snow, so if I don't continue my playthrough, I guess Amy's just dead. I've had similar issues, to be fair, with the Switch 1 as well, not connecting. But it was more with the local network thing. An old router I used before, my old ISP, it was the latest router from them. I think it was like XV8 is what they called it. But the Switch 1, the launch one, wouldn't connect to it. My OLED Switch did, but the original launch Switch wasn't working. And it was all local connection. It's always the local connection that's bugged with these routers. I don't know what it is. So when I tried to do my system transfer between the two different switches, I couldn't get it to work. I had to find some old router I had at the time, which now doesn't really work anymore. I had to dig that out and set it up just to do my system transfer. It was a nightmare. Nowadays, because I have a better phone that can do like a hotspot stuff. Oh, that's wrong. I'm not supposed to stand on that. Now that my phone can do a hotspot, because my old phone couldn't, I just use that as a makeshift router if I have these problems. Because right now, every one of my devices can connect to the internet via the wireless router, except for one. And that's my 3DS. My 3DS doesn't work with this router. It doesn't use the right security protocol. And I can't change that. The only thing I can change about the router stuff is name and password, which is worthless. So I'm just going to use my cell phone as a hotspot point for it, which will just connect to my internet anyways. That's fine. It's just a little annoying, especially for local network transfers. But it's funny, last time my Xbox 360, my Wii didn't connect, my 3DS did, to the router. Now it's just a 3DS. The Xbox and the Wii are fine. Which is so weird. They're older. But they work better. It's like, technology's weird. Yeah, reset the router a billion times. That's what it felt like for me that night, troubleshooting my Steam Deck. That night, like, I was just playing around a ball pit. After I finished playing on my Wii U, I played for like 10 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let me just close the game and upload the save to the cloud, so then I can continue it later on PC. And then it wouldn't sync. That's how I knew this bug started. I was up until 6 in the morning fixing this, and I finally figured out what happened. It was a long night. This was like 2 weeks ago. And also, people wonder why all the time, outside of latency things, why I prefer a wired connection. There's less stuff you gotta troubleshoot when you're on a physical wire. It's literally plug and play. If it doesn't work, then it's probably your plug that's bad, so just get a new wire. But on a router, dear God, there's 100 things that can go wrong, and I'm finding out new ones every day, it seems. Oh yeah, I got the double jump. This might help a bit in the fight. It probably won't. It's funny, because I'm swapping all the playstyles between levels. I'm forgetting who has what on the playstyles here. Like, which Amy is this? Especially when I'm in mid-story mode. Her double jump is making this fight super easy. There we go. One more hit. Yeah, no, there's some situations, though. I understand that, Ethan. You physically can't do a wired setup. There's some in this house, to be fair, that's in the same boat. Like, I'm lucky my equipment's all in this room, and this is where the fiber install happened, because they have to drill through the wall to install the fiber. I can't move that. So I'm not moving out of this room at this point because of that now. Like, I was thinking, maybe at some point I can move my setup in a different room. No, it's staying here, because I need that wired connection for so many things. Some devices flat out cannot connect without the wire. The wireless is too old. As mentioned before, like the Wii and the 360. So I still kind of need access to it. I can run a wire from here in different rooms. It's just a nightmare. I'd rather not. Like, there's power line adapters, there's Mocha adapters, but the setup would be a mess in this room. So it's like, I'd probably just leave things alone. So I get it. There are some setups you can't do that. And again, if you need that wire, then that's when you're doing those other extension setups as mentioned. But it's not perfect. Mocha's the best way of getting a wire connection to a different room, like using the coax cabling in your house. But Mocha adapters are pretty expensive. They're like $100 a pop to start. And you need at least 2. So it's not 100, it's more like 200. Powerline is like, what, 50 bucks? But they're so shoddy. It works, like you take the wiring already in your house for power, hence the name. So you just use your electric outlets to transfer Ethernet through the walls, but it needs to be, I think, on the same circuit. So if your dining room is not on the same circuit as the bedroom, I don't think it works. They're a little bit cheaper, but they're also worse on stability from what I hear too. So it's like, I'd rather just run a long cable. You can't do that in some situations, so you're just relying on wireless technology, which is just flaky at best. Kind of also why I have higher speeds than I really need, because it's overhead for routers to like extend the signal throughout the house. Like, by the time you get to the middle of the house, a gigabit signal can go down to like 400 megs just because of distance. So right there, having more speed kind of helps to compensate for that too. but not everyone can do that too. The mileage may vary. Yeah, like, I love having fiber now. It fixes so many issues I've had for literal years when it comes to my upload stuff. But once it's in a certain place, that is where the wire has to be. At most, I can probably call up my ISP and tell them, hey, can I have a technician come out and install a new fiber line just to move it? And they can probably do that. They can't install more than one at your house, which I think is stupid. What if I want to split network? Like, the front of my house is a rental room. Like, I'm renting that out property-wise. They want their own connection. They can't do that. I actually asked them about that when they were here trying to, like, get my account all set up for when we were getting this install, and they said, no, our company only allows one install in a house. It doesn't matter if it's in a different name, it won't work, which is, like, so stupid. And that's how my account got screwed up, too, because I registered my name under a different address for some reason. So I had to get that straightened out within, like, 3 weeks, it felt like. I can finally say my fiber story is over, thank God. Because I was charged for service when I didn't have service. Finally got a refund for that, like, the other day. Like, thank God. Because that should have never happened. I don't know why I was charged when I had nothing. I hate when companies do that stuff. They have to fight for it, too. It's not like they're just going to give it out for free, because they normally don't offer refunds. Like, why? You scammed me. Give me my money back. Like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't fly in this house. Oh, is Twitch doing that thing again, by the way? I'm noticing here that it's just disconnecting me entirely. Yeah, sure enough. Twitch is doing that thing again. Man, I'm not surprised. I gotta make sure it doesn't stop my local recording when I kill this. Should work. Yep, now it's reconnecting. Alright. Sure, Twitch. Just keep on doing that. Just keep on randomly disconnecting. I'm literally talking about internet stuff, and that's when it just cuts out, which is ironic. I knew they didn't fix this bug. I knew it, and it's still happening. For those unaware, ever since September of last year, I'm not even kidding, it's been that long, Twitch just randomly disconnects. And I don't know why. I have a gigabit upload. It's not my upload speed. It's not my connection. I know for a fact it's not now. It's Twitch. I was watching a stream last night, and that streamer was having the same problem. This is why we multi-stream. The YouTube stream is fine, Twitch is disconnecting. Same thing happened for someone else I was watching. Their Twitch side broke, but their YouTube side was fine. So it's nothing to do with ISPs. It's all Twitch servers. Because this guy was in Canada. So I know it's not my network. This guy was in a whole different country. The only thing I hate about that is Twitch now wants to run our ad. It's like, guys, we ran one 15 minutes ago. You don't need to run another 3-minute ad now. Like, I have to snooze it, but I can only snooze it for 5 minutes, so it's an inevitability. It's dumb. We'll work around it. That's what we have to do with this platform. I swear, they introduce new stuff daily. Like, I heard today, they introduced a new gift subbing option where you can gift them all, as they call it. And it's a gift sub option where you can gift subs to everybody in the chat, which I think is extreme. Neat option, but how many people are really gonna do that? They're working on stuff like that and not fixing the stability of their website. Twitch, you got your priorities in the wrong area. I don't understand that. I want a more stable site before I can gift like 500 people subs at once. I'm just saying, I think one's more beneficial. Yeah, I would spend $5 or $1 million. I mean, which one would you think is a better deal, huh? It's like, come on, guys. They rather work on that kind of stuff than fix their servers. There's not many servers left on Twitch, too, which is the most infuriating part. Like, for reference sake, Let me see if I can find an image of this, because it's gonna really show how bad this got over time. I think I can find it with the old Twitch test program. Because I think they still show the old servers. Well, these are just European ones, so maybe not. Either way, I think half of those servers don't exist anymore either. If I look up Wayback Machine, I can probably find it on the old Twitch ingest recommendation. Let me just go back to, let's say, the beginning of 2025. We'll go March. I think that might give me servers that don't exist anymore. Because this was before the bugs. And ironically, I said that. The Wayback Machine can't load the site correctly, so that was the most ironic thing to say. Let's try January instead. Okay. I'm just gonna show it now. For reference, this is what it loaded for me. This is the site. Glorious website. This is Wayback Machine. It's capturing things in images, so I can only expect so much from one of these shots. But just seeing nothing but a giant arrow feels like a YouTube thumbnail. This might not work. Yeah, it's saying error. I really want to show the old Twitch servers, but I don't think I can do that anymore. Because the old ingest servers, I think... I don't know if people recorded them or not, because I can't seem to find a shot that would work. Yeah, sure enough. This is what we have nowadays. It's just... this. 10 servers. There used to be like 16. Maybe more. But nowadays you have default, which, okay, this just goes to some location. For me, it's Miami. And then they have 3 others for US, and that's it. 3. This is why things are falling apart. Like, every single time I turn around, it seems like a stream just randomly disconnects. And I don't know why, but that's it. Like, this is the reason why. They are bleeding servers, ironically. And I hate that so much, man. YouTube has 2 servers, but their 2 servers actually work. So it doesn't matter numbers to them. The Twitch ones don't. And they have less of them. If you're gonna lessen the servers, at least make them more stable. I know how to deal with the bugs now. Just disconnect and reconnect the stream immediately fixes it. But I shouldn't have to do that as the end user. This happens 1 in 10 streams, I think. Something like that. So I keep on losing that lottery. This happens at least once a month. I'm gonna wait for a bubble. There we go. Can I not get the bubble now? I wanted 1 bubble, not 6. Dude, I'm getting bounced all over the place here. But yeah, I apologize every time if you're on the Twitch side watching things. It just randomly disconnects. That's out of my control because it's something to do with their servers more than anything from my experience. If I notice it right away, I mean, I can tell when it says it's reconnecting me on the OBS side, but there are sometimes it doesn't do that, so it takes me longer to notice. I apologize. There's only so much I can do. If it just glitches out, chat can scream. Give me some picnics, I'll know it's definitely something wrong. I was gonna hit the side of those so I could stop, but a little too much. Oh, cool. I get the extra lives that aren't going to stay here because I'm going to swap the different playstyles. Oh, you can't even break the capsule with the hammer move. What's the point? I swear, in this shot, Amy looks more like Minnie Mouse than anything else, which, to be fair, there was a lot of comparisons to Amy and Minnie Mouse when her design was first shown, because she didn't look like a hedgehog. She looked more like a mouse with the sprites. Especially from the front, that definitely looks more like a mouse shot. Yeah, I keep on forgetting you can't go through that specific platform, it's solid. Because I don't have the double jump version of this character, I gotta take the bubble. If I was playing with the Superstars version, I wouldn't need that bubble. He crushed me. I thought I was going to get hit by the spike ball, but he actually crushed me. The one time Knack Fang Man wins. It's because of a technicality. I was out of rings, so that didn't help. I was trying to get my ring back, but yeah, it's like you should never die to this guy because he has really no threat. Oh, great. We get to waste the double jump version of her moveset on a level where we don't jump. Because this level is pretty much an automated level with the submarine. Get my double jumps out now before I can't use them. Although this plays out as I think, I'll have the double jump for the final boss, and that'll be preferred. I'm hitting the wrong button. Like, why isn't my missile not coming out? I'm hitting circle, not X. It doesn't matter to lose rings in this form because you do keep your rings if you have over an excess amount. Like, it looks like I'm only losing, what is that, maybe 25? Next time I get hit with like about 30 rings or so, I'll count how many I have in comparison, like try to do the math. But I'm trying also not to get hit anymore, so I might not be doing the math. Okay, there you go. What was that, 16 I had? It wasn't even 20. I'm losing 15 rings if that's the case. Here. 20. Now I lost all 20. So it might be 20 rings at a time. How did I keep some before? I didn't think I had 20. There you go, get wrecked. Transform into the thing that, at this point, you really are. I don't know how to continue the sentence. Just get me out of here. Hey, look, double jump. Kind of feels bad I had to waste double jump here, but that should set me up for the final boss fight. Because now we're going into the final zone of the game. Wait, I did all 3 acts, right? Hang on. I'm actually blanking on that, so I don't remember. That's kind of funny. It's because of how Title Tide just kind of blends together. That was Act 3, right? Oh, no, you don't do Act 3. Act 3 is Knuckles. That's why it shows up, which is kind of weird that it shows up that way. Because Act 3 is a whole different level. So that's why it doesn't work. I was confused, like, wait a minute, there's like 2 levels. Why is it on number 3 here? Because I count Knuckles' act as Act 3. That's only going this way, okay. Well, this is the last time we're using Amy's Sonic 3 air moveset. So after this, it's just 2 more levels. Wait, actually, there's a shield down here. Our playthrough's gonna take pretty much as long as everyone else at this point, about an hour. The story adds a little bit of extra time on each run, but other than that, each run-through should take you roughly an hour if you're not going for Chaos Emeralds. That's typical for these kind of games, to be fair. Like Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 both can beat within an hour or so. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is kind of beefy because it's 2 games in 1, so it does take a little bit longer. And then Mania kind of has the same problem, so it's about maybe 2 to 2.5 hours if you're not going for Chaos Emeralds. But it just depends on your playstyle too, and just how experienced you are with a Sonic game. The less experience, the longer it takes, for obvious reasons. Did I just reflect one of those? No, okay. Because I could have reflected one of Fang's missiles that, or Fang's bullets there. What is the point in that room? Like, that's not in the original Game Gear game, so I'm trying to think of why that exists in this remake, and it just doesn't do much. This feels like some good-fashioned revenge. This is for kidnapping me in CD. And until Sonic Origins, Amy couldn't fight Metal Sonic, so this happened before Origins. Because I believe this actually came out in 2022. And I didn't hear about it until this year, which makes me kind of sad. Because I heard about this fan remake when it was announced years ago. But I heard it had some trouble development for a bit, taking longer to make. And then it just kind of fell off the radar for me. Which is a shame, because I was looking forward to this fan remake. But I haven't heard anything until more recently. Alright, here we go. Last 2 stages. Atomic Destroyer Act 2. Nice. Gonna get the rings because of that. I don't get the rings until I die, and then after that, we don't chance it. Just spin, forehead. See how much easier that was as soon as I spin into the enemy? What's over here? I never looked to the left. Oh, monitor box for ring. It pays to go left. Even though it doesn't really do anything for me right now, that is nice to have if I'm respawning with no rings. Who's spinning a kill? Yeah, right? Feels like Amy has a little bit of a delay, though, when you hit down. Because I'm tapping down like I normally do. It's not working right away. It takes a moment. So her ducking animation takes a little bit longer to come out than everyone else's, which is a little bit of a detriment. But it doesn't matter because I can do my spin dash instantly. She's not ducking before I do the spin dash. So this is just a weird animation quirk. It doesn't do anything for gameplay. I barely didn't get buzzsawed. Careful. I swear, the first obstacle course there is the worst of the three, so it's good to get number 1 done first. Like, this one's concerning because of the crushing. But if you're slow, it's not really that much of a problem. Minus the final crushing hazard, because it's a little bugged on collision. Also doesn't help, it feels like the first challenge area is the longest of the three. Like, this area doesn't feel that bad on length, and the third one's almost the same in length to me. The first one just feels like it takes like a good 3 minutes to get through, even though it's not. It's 3 minutes now. It just feels like it. Thought for a second that was going to count as a crush, because last time I got that fast into those pistons, it counted as crushing. Alright, last one, number 3. Just enough time to get through that before getting shot with the laser. See, if you're fast enough, you can time things out and skip some cycles. Which is always the nice thing about a Sonic game. You're rewarded for your ability to go fast. I almost said your fastness, which I guess isn't wrong, it just sounds weird. Yeah, it's so broken. It only is there for the first time you enter this area. So I wouldn't get the ring capsule again until I died. Alright, this area will be a little tricky with the Origins playstyle. This would be better if I had the Superstars double jump. Not impossible, because we've done this plenty of times with a single jump. I mean, this was the worst with Knuckles, because he had the shortest of the jumps. Gonna do your thing? Okay, yeah, thank you. Lucky this attack takes quite a long time to come out. That's a good opportunity to take a nice old drink. Stay hydrated and all. Alright, don't go too slow here. We've been learning with so many different characters that this section plays a little weird with the scrolling. No reason to rush when I gotta wait for the elevator anyways. And there you go. Say goodbye to the Origins playstyle because that was it for Origins, Amy. Just got one final hurrah, and that's watching Fang the Weasel Man burn. Get wrecked. Final time we get to see that for this playthrough. Or playthroughs, I should say, of this. This is the final character and all. Alright, our last move, conveniently for the final boss section of the game, we get to have the Superstars layout. And that's going to really help here because of the double jump. Like, I'll make phase 2 of this simple. Yeah, get knocked, Fank, knock whoever you're... Yeah. I like how you spelled it knack though, like knack from the PlayStation stuff. Like, it's knack time, baby. I have not played those games. I just know they're a meme because of the Donkey YouTube channel. That's it. I have both of them, but I never played either one. I skipped the checkpoint. All right, well, let's just do this in one attempt. I have an insta-shield technically, so that shouldn't be bad. Yeah, that was easy. I literally one-shotted him, man. He didn't get to do his actual attack in this phase. What a joke. Get him out of here. Snack time, baby, on your stream soon. I mean, we can put it on the dock at some point if people want it. Yeah, I think that's where that gif of Knack coming from is, well, from Ethan. The greatest game of all time was a joke for Donkey because the game was just kind of throwaway, nothing too special, and it somehow got a sequel. So it was just joked at that point. That is the greatest game of all time because it got a sequel. That's it. It's just a meme. And that was it for Amy. That actually makes sense for her to save Knuckles there because, you know, friends. But yeah, I would say she has the most unique gameplay because of her 3 different gameplay styles. Sonic 3 Air and the Superstars ones are useful because 3 Air is good for a powerhouse because of the constant spinning of the hammer going into a bounce attack. Like, that could be very, very helpful. It's not that great for bosses, but it's good for the levels to attack enemies. And Superstars, man, it's just a double jump. Double jump works on every 2D platformer, even 3D platformers. Give me a double jump in my platformer, I'll be a happy person. So I find that this is the best gameplay style, but then you get the Origins and what? Why? Like, this is just a worse version of Superstars. It really is. Because she has the spinning hammer in all 3 of the forms. In Superstars and Origins, if you hold the button, she will run on the ground with the hammer. So it really just makes the Origins gameplay style a worse Superstar style. That's pretty much it. So if I would play this again with Amy, it's most likely just going to be Superstars all the way. That was the best way of playing because of the double jump. Sonic 3 Air is fun, but I don't find as much use for the bounce attack as I do as the double jump. I just like her being 3 different gameplay styles. She's the most unique of all the characters because of this. But either way, still a fun run through the game. And that's our final run through of the game technically, so that's all the characters beaten.